These are the PreSonus Eris 3.5 studio monitors, and they're quite possibly the most popular budget monitors of all time. But they're also approaching 5 years old and haven't been respected for such a long period of time. This begs the question of whether they're still worth it in 2022. As I often do, I'm skipping the YouTuber thing where I delay my final thoughts, and I'll straight up tell you, these are still incredible studio monitors at only $100. I like how they look, I love how they sound, and they're still cream of the crop when it comes to quality budget monitors. So if that seals the deal for you, feel free to drop a sub on the way out, as that'd be much appreciated, no obligations of course, or continue on to learn more about my new main speakers. So let's talk audio quality. I've been using these since the beginning of the summer, and I'm all around impressed by how they sound in volume, in high end, in low end, and in everything in between. But it's important to note what you probably already know if you're shopping around for monitors. The audio signature here is flat and balanced. This isn't some cinematic surround sound setup that'll make action sequences more intense, or even quote-unquote normal desktop speakers that are tuned to make everything enjoyable. They're monitors, and as such are accurate and flat. There's a slight caveat here as they don't dip low into sub-bass frequencies, so in my research about these, I definitely heard a few recommendations to compare work done on these to bigger setups until you learn what frequencies they do cover. Alternatively, I also heard some people say to just add a sub to the setup and get the full range. But for me, they do 95% of everything I need from studio monitors, and at $100, the audio quality is indisputably excellent. Another thing I enjoyed about these is how they're designed to an extent for beginners. Using the RCA to 3.5mm jack adapter included in the box, you can easily get these going with whatever setup you had prior to getting these. One of the things I did when evaluating the sound signature was plug these into my phone and play music I knew pretty well in different places to really feel out how these guys reproduce sound. And jumping back to cables and such, there's another cable included that connects the speakers to each other, plus a power cable. That's all you need to get a starter setup going, but you could also use TRS cables to connect right into an audio interface instead of RCA. At this point, we've covered the important stuff like the sound quality, connection process, and hopefully design through the B-roll I've been showing you. So I guess I'd just like to add some more miscellaneous thoughts right here at the end before I head out and let you get back to shopping or just learning about tech. First, putting price aside, they're on the smaller end for monitors. A pro mixing setup would undoubtedly have much larger and thus more expensive monitors than this, so just keep in mind these aren't the best studio monitors, but the best at $100. And on the flip side, if you're upgrading from consumer desktop speakers like me, you'll probably notice how much bigger they are than that genre. Like, here's my desk setup that used the Creative Pebble 2s, and you can see the Eris 3.5s are at least 4x the volume of those guys. Might be important if you have a compact desk setup. Anyway, that's been my coverage of my new desktop speakers for the coming months/years. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something, and I'll see you in the next one.